Okay, I think we're
Is it actually recording?
yeah,
Hi
no,
guys, welcome to another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, movies about great things, terrible things, and all things bloody. I am your host, Noah. With me forever is Ryan. And Vince, live from St. Barbary Church?
Saint isn't Saint
Barnaby?
Saint Godard's?
Right.
St. Godard's, that's right.
Yeah, which is actually an anagram, and it you could spell anti-god.
Oh, nice.
A little foreshadowing.
We also have a special guest this week. Lucky us. Sterz.
What's up, everyone?
Hey.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here,
ladies and gentlemen. The Prince of Darkness.
John.
He's wearing a black shirt.
Yeah, so that's right, guys.
There's some color on it.
Oh, yeah.
Odele.
Oh, it's a back.
It looks
Odele.
like an not Odele, sorry, Mellow Gold.
That was a good
Looks
album.
a little satanic, but
Yeah, if you were to tell me it was like a Metallica album, like some B-sides.
yeah, that would be more appropriate.
So, guys, we watched John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness.
You did.
Excellent film.
It is. Question: is this the most John Carpenter movie?
The most?
I think so.
It's
There
pretty
was a
fun.
lot of other things in there. I was just like, it was like he's cherry picked some of his greatest hits and threw them in here.
Yeah, well, it was his return to horror after he had done Big Trouble in Little China and Starman. So,
Starman.
but the critics didn't really like it when it came out. It was kind of, they called it cheesy,
Well, it's not that-
or this and that.
Well, also Bomb. That's almost every John Carpenter movie. Has he made
Yeah.
like outside of Halloween a successful film, like quote unquote on pod and release?
Right.
How did Escape from New York do?
Not. I think it did okay. But like most of his movies, they become, cult
Yeah.
classics after people watch it on VHS or whatever, so because
Which ultimately to me fits the style of John Carpenter, because he's a guy who I can never see being polished or quote unquote mainstream. Like there's always a kind of working man's or just kind of like thrown together or almost like independent feel about all his films.
yeah, well, this movie was only made for like $3 million, so but he shot it on like wide angle lenses, so it gave it this more like cinematic feel. And he said like the budget, he made sure that he got like everything right. So it's like, oh, they couldn't do a lot of takes and this and that. So he was just like, everything was very composed, the shots, like, yeah.
I think
Worked
good
with
horror
the
movies.
best bugs.
Sorry?
They worked with the best bugs.
Yeah, exactly. Good horror movies don't need a huge budget, right? Like, it's more about writing and acting and sounds and stuff like that.
Special
but-
effects.
It's true, like, unless you're- Yeah, I mean, it depends if your scope kind of outreaches your your mouth is appetite analogy thing there. Like you're trying to do big, and you don't have the money for it, don't try it. Like if they try to do the thing with like a $500,000 budget, but with similar effects, like you work within your
Okay,
realms,
that's a
but
good
that's not.
point. Yeah.
It's yeah, but you're right. It's not. That's not what makes horror. And Carpenter knows how to work from starting from Halloween with a little.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he also hated working within like the studio system. So that's why a lot of his movies were, done kind of independently. And then he got like a distribution with the studio afterwards. But for the most part, he would make the movies, kind of independently. Like this one, he made it with Alive Pictures or whatever. And he had made like a three movie deal. And he was going to make them for $3 million, but he had complete creative control. And he did this one, he did They Live, and then I don't remember what he did after
The
that.
Mouth of Madness.
They live.
Yeah, but Mouth of Madness is part of this Apocalypse trilogy, and the first one being The Thing, and then Prince of Darkness, and then The Mouth of Madness. That was in '94. So
The Thing feels like his biggest movie, like his most polished, quote unquote, Hollywood movie, and it's still very John Carpenter-y.
Mm-hmm. Big Trouble in Little China is pretty. I mean, there's still kind of campiness to it, but
yeah, I mean that still has a very Carpenter, like his. It's almost like his blank check in a way.
Yeah.
Right, so,
but this one
saved money with the cast. There's not a lot of star power in this.
No, and he worked with a lot of people that he worked with previously, and that he likes to, like, what's his name? Victor Wong and Dennis Dun, who was also in Big Trouble in Little China, who's actually the hero of the movie.
I feel like he was the hero in this movie for me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, well,
wait, was he the hero in this one?
Not really, but he's the only character I really kind of liked. I don't know if that says something bad about me, but
no,
I mean he had charisma.
There's not a lot of character development in this movie. Like, it's not. There's like some really good ideas. There's some like cool ideas with the whole quantum physics and religion and that, but they don't go too deep into it, where it's like, they just kind of touch the surface a bit about it. So
yeah, that romance shit at the beginning was awful.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's get into it. We can break down.
Yeah, let's just jump into it.
I got a lot to say about this movie. I was surprised. I'd actually never seen it, so shame on me. I know. But yeah, okay. So let's get through it, because I want to talk about certain things here.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie opens with a dying priest clutching a box in his hand, and what I can only assume is his very Spartan monastery room, and title card. So already I'm like, okay, good John Carpenter start. Like, don't give me too much at the beginning. Badass title card. We're in for a good ride. Then at the college, okay, I didn't write down anyone's name, so it's just going to be Stash and the redhead.
O'Brien.
Right.
Catherine.
Brian, was it Brian Marsh and Catherine
Danforth. Just call him Simon and Simon, because that's what he's famous for.
Okay, perfect. That'll make it a lot easier. So Simon is pretty much stalking that redhead. Like, we can all agree on that, right?
100% agree.
Like, way outside the classes, in the
this
cold.
Movie's
cold out here.
Like, this movie's so 80s. It's like, just like the way, like,
he says something very misogynist to her, and somehow she ends up apologizing for his comment.
Yeah. He negs her.
Yeah.
He negs her, and he makes like misogynistic comments, and then somehow they end up sleeping together.
Exactly.
The 80s.
You guys have probably seen a lot of older movies now, but for me, watching this movie, I thought the title, like the credits at the beginning, was gonna last the entire, or like at least half the movie. It was very strange. I'm not used to that, seeing the credits rolling for what seemed like.
Old school movies would be like all the credits would be at the beginning. Like, I remember the first time I saw Psycho, and when the movie ends, it ends. You're out of the theater.
Yeah, go home.
Yeah.
Then there was the period of like long title sequences. This one at least interspersed with plot.
Yeah. But it's good. I miss that. I like that. A lot of nostalgia for me watching this, and I liked it. I'm gonna put that out there. I thought I wasn't going to like it because I've never heard of it, and I'm like, what is this movie? Like, it looks strange, but I enjoyed it. So yeah.
Right.
Let's continue.
What else we got? We got Loomis the priest visiting. Okay, so those guys in red. I'm a Jew, so forgive me. Are they cardinals? Are they bishops? What's their gimmick?
I think he was going there to see the cardinal, who's like the main guy in charge. And I'm just thinking back to like I was associating the costumes like, okay, that looks like the guy from Ghostbusters. So,
Yeah.
because when he said His Excellency, I was like, is he in Italy to see the Pope?
Yeah, I don't. They don't really explain that. And then,
because my thoughts was he went there because we'll go like into the whole Brotherhood of Sleep thing. Did he just all of a sudden realize, oh shit, I didn't train a replacement and I'm about to die?
Yeah. Could be.
That kind of seems like it, actually.
Like, yeah, or did he just realize that before he died, he's like, oh shit, that he dies?
Oh yeah. So either way, Loomis had to come get the box, which contains a key, which he takes to fuck, I can't remember the name of that church. Saint Godard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I couldn't tell. Was the church run down or was it just a?
It was. They said it closed because I think one
Yeah.
of the characters said like their husband used to go there, but it
was a monastery.
It closed down a while ago.
So I think it was like a monastery now, and like
yeah.
It's very vague because it's like the guy dies and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, so he was the last guy. He was only one guy living there alone, like keeping the secret of the Brotherhood of the Sleep or whatever. Is that's
he was living that COVID life pretty early because he only went out once a week.
30 years, pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
I have one serious question about this church, and we'll get to it soon.
Oh yeah, okay. So then I cut to Professor Victor Wong talking about time and space.
After noticing that the sun and the moon are pretty close to each other.
Yeah, they kept showing that, but they kept showing the same shot. So I was wondering, like, has time stood still, or is it just, we got the one shot and we're gonna use it? John Carpenter, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, Professor Victor Wong is teaching Simon and Simon, a redhead, Wang from Big Trouble, that other guy with the bad hairline,
Professor Barack.
Was that at Barracks?
Barack, yeah.
Clearly, I don't do any research, so forgive me. And which he was telling some pretty interesting stuff, although it all is kind of scientific, philosophic bullshit. So are we
it's
even really here?
Everything's real until you get to the subatomic level, and then nothing's really real.
Yeah, so don't worry about it. We see Simon and Simon stalk the redhead again, this time with her mulleted boyfriend, or whoever. But he looks pretty crestfallen about it.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got? We got Loomis typing up that letter to send to Professor Wong, delivered by a nun in a limo.
Yeah, it's really weird. They keep having they keep driving around in the limo everywhere.
But they never had a driver get out to open the doors, so it leads me to believe the nun was just driving the limo because all they have is cars.
Yeah.
It's a
rental.
rental.
You guys have a van? No, a limo. Yeah, they rented it for the one shot, I'm sure. Just take around the lot, fucking past the church again. Yeah, the nun delivers it. Loomis takes Victor Wong to see that the diary.
Okay. Here's my question.
Right.
When he takes Egg Shen to the church and he goes down into the basement and he sees the cylinder, did Loomis light all those candles?
Yeah, that was a good question.
Yeah.
Were they already lit? Are they always lit? Did he light them all himself and then invite somebody over? That, I don't know. It's so dumb, but it bothered the shit out of me.
Maybe it's like in National Treasure, where as soon as you open the door, they all light. By the way, National Treasure, an old episode we did, guys. Go back and watch it. Leave a comment, hate, subscribe, whatever.
That was my question too when I was watching that. I'm like, how long have those candles been burning? How long do they last? I was definitely thinking that. But
what was the candle budget on this movie?
Yeah.
half the budget went to candles.
Well, they made up for it because they would shoot an R&B video at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That big, the big green swirling thing would be like a disco ball instead, and they just dance around it like Electric Circus.
But yeah, he sees the big green cylinder. It says like TGRI on the side of it.
It's funny because
what Secret of the Ooze?
Yeah.
The day before this, I was playing a D&D campaign where it was like heavy ooze related. So I was just like, oh great, it's like more ooze in my life. Pile it on. But some pretty cool ooze effects in the movie.
And the swooshing sound. The sound was the biggest thing for me in this movie. Even going back to the credits and everything, it put me in the mood, and just the soundtrack really vaulted this movie to a higher level.
Yeah,
Carpenter is great at atmosphere. Is possibly the best thing he's good at. I'd say is Carpenter creating atmosphere with like just shots and music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did this with Alan Howarth, who is
because I cut out before. Did we bring up that he wrote this under a pseudonym?
Yeah, Martin Quartermass.
Mm-hmm.
And
we didn't talk
that
about
name before.
No. Well, because Quartermass was a character, Professor Quartermass, written by I forget his name, Neil. So that last name is Neil. But apparently, there's a few nods to that Quartermass and that guy's writings, and apparently that he didn't like it too much because he didn't want people to think that he had something to do with the movie, which is kind of funny. But
I thought you were talking about John Carpenter. I was like, wow, that's a bad move there.
Yeah, really.
Because the university is called Neil too, like Neil University or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't notice that either. But yeah. So anyways, back at the school, Professor Wong no-shows because he's clearly meeting with Brother Loomis or Father Loomis, I guess. And then what is it? Simon and Simon and the redhead talk Schrodinger's cat. He negs her. Somehow they hook up. I'm still like blown away by that. Yeah, because like you said, she's like apologizing to him, like, "Oh, I'm sorry for calling you an asshole, for being an asshole."
For being an asshole.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, do you want to start over?" Sure. And then they just sleep together.
Yeah.
The 80s, ladies and gentlemen.
The 80s.
Yeah.
Then somehow the school or the students of Professor Wong are going to go to the church to study the tube of goo or ooze.
Pure evil.
This is what happens when you give professors too much tenure. They think they can just take the students wherever they want, do whatever they want. They're not worried about getting fired. I don't know.
Yeah, man, they're a bunch of nerds. What do you want?
Yeah, they just wanted those credits.
What's his name's really pissed. He's like, I had a hot date this weekend.
Dude, yeah.
Green eyes, like creamy jade.
Walter.
For a while, he was the only character for me that made any sense. Like, everyone was just going along with everything, and he was questioning things. So I like.
He's like, "What the hell are we doing here?" And he
I had a hot date.
And he was trying to be funny, and no one was having it.
Yeah, I know that game all too well.
Yeah.
Then we
what
have.
Does he say to the girl? He's like, "You look Asian or something."
You can pass as an Asian.
You can pass.
Did anyone ever say you can pass? There was a lot of weird.
She was
comments.
Asian.
Yeah. I know, but that's the.
He also had that really funny joke. Later on, I'll get to that joke. The one with the
when he's in the closet.
Yeah, when he's trapped in the closet or the confessional booth, or I don't know what that was. But okay, so
I have to unpack because
yeah. There's
a lot going on there. His lazy ass. There's a lot going on in that scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys notice who that main homeless guy was who looked deathly ill?
Alice Cooper.
Of course.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope he's wearing makeup, and I hope he wasn't just like strung out 80s Alice Cooper, but he's like a Mormon or something, right? Like
yeah.
He became born again Christian later on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
we
they
also
have
brought
the
up the
same-
ants are going nuts.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the ants. A lot
because
of
there's
ants.
that really creepy lady that just like stands there and she's like just staring at the sun, and then they do a close up and you see the ants like on her face. It's like, because I saw this movie when I was pretty young on TV, and I'll always remember like. I don't think I saw the whole thing, but I just like I remember I caught it in the middle, and like I just remember one of the first images is seeing Alice Cooper and being super creeped out and being like, "What the fuck is this movie?" And like, and I saw it
he
years
was
later.
on the DVD cover for a while. Like the DVD release was like a
Yeah.
shadowy. It's him at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens at the church? They set up that mini lab. We also meet the rest of the cast now.
They just keep bringing people in.
Yeah.
I know. I lost track. I was like, wait, there's Dr. Leahy. Then
Yeah.
his son
Yeah, yeah.
also Dr. Leahy. There was the translator Lisa. There was not hot to hot Susan. There was Kelly.
And they keep saying that he's like, have anyone seen Susan? Like, who the girl with the glasses?
Glasses, and she was what was her job? Anyway, physicist, some type.
Yeah,
No, she carbon dated it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was Frank, who I didn't even know he was there until he wasn't. There was what was his name? Clarence or something?
Oh yeah, Frank? Is he the one that makes that like weird joke? She's like, she's married. She's
Yeah.
very, very married or something. Like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah. I thought he meant like he was the husband or something.
There was Hitchcock from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, who I thought looked like Festus the wrestler. There was a lot of people. I couldn't keep track. And they all had one line.
More victims. You got to line them up at the beginning.
Get the body count up, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got Loomis meeting that homeless lady who has the devil voice, and she rubs her face all over his hand and crotch like a dog or something.
She's like, "We're so glad you're here, Father."
That was creepy.
And he like comes in and like shakes off his hand and moist something. Jeez, like, guy, don't let homeless people touch you. I get you're a priest or however it works. I don't know, but rules.
To be fair,
6
they
feet.
were street schizos.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were homeless, but they were schizos.
Oh yeah, but they weren't exhibiting any schizophrenic signs that are supposed to happen every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But they're attuned to evil.
Yeah, for some reason.
Them and bugs.
Yeah, there was a lot of bug play in this.
And
It's
worms.
kind of
the woman
dodgy
had
comment on society that like the homeless and the bugs are so easily influenced by.
And they do a great impersonation of the robots from Halloween 3. Just standing in a line, creepily staring at people.
Well, the homeless woman had bugs in her change cup too. It was like maggots or some such.
Yeah, lots of creepy imagery in this movie. Weird.
Oh, and the window worms.
Oh yeah, in reverse too.
Yeah.
Like they shot in reverse, like they're going up.
Oh, we'll get into reverse shots soon.
Yes. Okay, I want to get into all of it, guys. I really do. So Professor Wong takes them all to the basement to set up that lab, and somehow the Bible, or it wasn't a Bible, it was some kind of old scripture.
It's a manuscript.
It's a tome. It's a manuscript written in several different languages and in numbers.
And edited,
written
and
and rewritten.
And somehow it equates to differential equations, which I don't know math enough to comment on that, nor do I know theology that well either.
But there's luckily a magic computer that will translate it for you.
Yeah, run by Lisa, who did not stop working the entire time. Like sun up to sundown, she was there just like.
Yeah, half the movie she's just like.
Which, good for her. She apparently could pass for an Asian, according to I don't know what the character was. Wang.
Walter.
Yeah.
He also What was that comment about having homosexual panic?
Yeah, I had a hard date tonight. Yeah, what was his name? Hey, screw you, man.
Oh yeah.
But like there was something else too where he was like, I went to a psychiatrist once and they thought I was gay.
Yeah,
oh.
I heard that too, and I was curious, but I was just like too lazy to get up and kind of rewind.
Rewind it, yeah.
I definitely heard something strange like that, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that guy, do you? Like, if you're having a good time. What else?
Oh wow, that's hilarious. I'm looking in the on IMDb, there's like a section of quotes, and for Donald Pleasance's character, it just says Father Loomis.
Oh, yeah. They officially call him Father Loomis.
Yeah, because in the script is just priest. He's just
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was also the other girl who I don't know if I already named her, but she had that bruise on her arm.
Kelly.
Kelly, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah,
which she wasn't concerned at all at. She's like, "Oh yeah, I have this bruise." Meanwhile, it's like a Coptic.
Once the scar in it forms into a sign, you're like, "Oh, that's harrowing."
And well, she was just like, "Yeah, I'm sleepy."
Okay. Yeah, she's like, "I must have bumped into something, but it only hurts now." Like,
well, we saw her bump into it. It was when it had like the telekinetic burst.
Yeah, that's right. When it also moved the EKG machine, or I don't know what that was. Just technological nonsense.
Oh, yeah, that's what he says. Anyone ever tell you could pass for Asian?
Yeah. I love it. Okay, now we come to our first kill, I believe.
Well, yeah, because they carbon date. Because Susan says they carbon date the thing is 7 million years old.
Radiologist, that's what she is.
Radiologist, yeah. It's the canister 7 million years old. They're a complex locking mechanism. They can't open it, but it seems that it can open from the inside.
Yeah. Which seems very crazy as well. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not the craziest thing. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Then there was the first death of I called him Poindexter. It's Junior Leahy, Junior Dr. Leahy, who gets done in by a half bike by Alice Cooper.
Which apparently is something from his stage show.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I read that too. Yeah.
Shit, I would like to see that show.
He said he wanted to be in the movie, so and John Carpenter's like, yeah, if you let me use your bike that you use on. So they worked it into the script.
That was the condition, exactly.
Yeah. No, but they also had like his manager was also, or agent or something was also, he helped him like make this movie. So like obviously like they met each other like beforehand or whatever. But
and he's also listening to Alice Cooper song as he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I did.
Very meta.
So what we saw?
I was like surprised he didn't scream at all. As soon as I saw those homeless people lined up, I would have been like, like what the fuck?
Yeah,
Nobody
he's
screamed.
just like
so scary. So
nobody.
I would have tried to bring attention to the fact that I'm surrounded, but he's just like casually still trying to be cool until.
Well, it's like when Susan is on top of Lisa, and she wakes up, she's like looking up at her, and I'm like, wouldn't you have a problem with somebody crawling on you while you slept? I know I would.
Hey man, sometimes like, turning someone down it can get.
Well, she does say she's like she looks at her and she doesn't know how to respond. She was just like, and then before she can like kind of say anything, she's like, just like spews the fucking Satan juice in her
This
mouth.
is a recurring thing I wanted to mention. Like, they're called. Those priests are the Brotherhood of Sleep, and throughout the whole movie, people's sleep are getting interrupted constantly. And as someone who cherishes my sleep, it was bothering me that they were so casual about it too. It's like, hey, buddy, there's a meeting up in the thing, and it's like, dude, it's 3 a.m. He's like, yeah, take 15 minutes, get ready, like.
Yeah.
It takes
don't know.
15
I'm gonna
minutes.
juggle some oranges.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're trying to well, I don't know if we should get that far
Yeah,
into
go
it.
for it, man.
There's something to the dreams. There's something to the sleep. And instead of embracing that, they just keep waking each other up at crazy hours.
Well, apparently that's how they communicate with each other. The Brotherhood of the Sleep or whatever, they communicate through dreams or something.
Exactly.
They don't really make that kind of specific, but I read something.
If we're gonna
about
get to the
that.
dreams, which I think are the best part of the movie, ironically,
Okay,
'cause
well, let's
it
get
looks.
into it.
I love. Yeah, because we started at some point. Bob Costas with a mustache starts dreaming.
Simon.
Yeah, it's done in a really cheap effect, which apparently it was shot on video cassette and then filmed off the TV
Yeah.
to give this cheap effect of. It looks like found footage of someone walking up past the church, and it's in daylight, and then cut to the door, and there's this shadowy robed figure kind of in there, and you hear this can't quite make out voices communicating to it. And the more you watch it, the more, I guess, closer to the door frame you get. And it's super simple, and it looks almost like a Spirit Halloween thing, but it somehow just works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super cool. And yeah, they somehow, these are dreams. No, what is it? There's something from the future, messages from the future, sent backwards in time, and it gets converted to RCA video. Yeah, that's the thing.
The future, but the future is 1999.
Yeah, 1999.
At first, when they said it, I'm like, "Whoa, that's really far. 19, it must be so far." And then it's 99. I'm like, "Oh, that's not that far."
Yeah, what is it? 12 years from the date of this.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Back to the goo. Right. Yeah. Nice. Okay. So yeah, the goo. Apparently, inside the goo is a living something that they're not sure if it's a person.
It's an anti-god.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's
Antimatter.
the son of anti-god.
Okay,
so
it's the
let's
son
get
of,
into this.
it's like an alien Jesus. And
It's all right. Let's break this down because even Loomis is like, well, I guess my religion's a lie.
Yeah.
he's like,
Satan
why did they
goo.
not? Why didn't they tell us?
It was all secret. So Satan is the goo in the jar, and he is the son of God, but not the God we know, but an anti-creation God. Because as we all, particles have a mirror image. So there is a God that created all things. There's an anti-one who's banished away, and they're like, okay, on records, he came to Earth and ruled it, but then a human-like alien who was Jesus came down, and it gets very Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus came down and tried to warn people against Satan that's coming on, but
Okay, well, it says here, according to Lisa's translation, the glass cylinder was buried in the Middle East some million years ago by Father Satan, anti-god, a god that ruled planet Earth. He was exiled by the human race, although before that, he sealed his own son, Satan, waiting for the right time to come back. Following the same translation, Jesus Christ was an extraterrestrial of human shape who came from another world to protect the human race from anti-god, gaining power between the humans to fight Father Satan and hide the glass cylinder that imprisoned Satan until the time when the human race possessed a level of technology advanced enough to defeat him.
Okay, so guys, don't watch the movie. You got it.
Yeah. Then Loomis is like, "Oh, my religion's a lie," and Hank Chen's like, "Well, not really. I guess. I mean, basic tenets are still the same. I guess."
Yeah, you can see why he used a pseudonym when he.
Okay, so what? So we find out that Simon knows that the goo is strong, but told to put a lid on it from Professor Wong. We know that. Wait, did we already miss the scene where Susan turns hot?
So this is first of all, not turns. She was hot the whole time.
Yeah, she was. She just had glasses. What? She wasn't hot.
Which
She had
is-
glasses.
Well, you know, like the difference in Ghostbusters too, or Ghostbusters as well, not Ghostbusters 2.
Fair enough.
Or she had a nice Velma thing going on. But yeah, this is because once this happens, this is when it all just ramps up.
Susan Cabot, radiologist, married. How married? Very. Like what? Why?
Who
Yeah.
knew these scientists were such dogs? Like they're
Yeah.
very horny, all these guys, like, and girls.
So yeah, she's
Sounds
kind of
like
drawn to the basement, and she's left alone, and she notices it's dripping upwards
Yeah,
into a
goo is
pool on the
dripping up.
ceiling that super soaks its way into her mouth.
And then it kind of just like skeets in her mouth, just like. Psh,
Mhm.
just,
I hate that's a verb.
Well, it's also a noun.
Yeah. And yeah, then she's disgusted, and she kind of gets up with this like kind of spooky look in her eye.
She's like the patient zero now.
Yeah, and she kills Hitchcock.
Yep. Yeah, snaps his neck.
just like
Are we
snaps his
talking
neck.
about the neck snap? Yeah.
Yeah, give him the Steven Seagal.
That was another thing. Yeah, you don't see that in movies today that much anymore, but that was so common back in the day.
The
People's
neck
necks,
snap, just
like,
Yeah.
she
As
does
a
it so
kid-
easily too, huh?
As a kid in the 80s, I was always kind of worried about like neck snapping shit. I'm
yeah,
like,
you're like,
you ever
oh
see the
no,
guy
what
who
if-
neck snaps all or falling down the stairs? Like you're done.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Or I also, to the other way, like I would also envision myself snapping people's necks easily. Like if some,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
if there was a situation at school and I needed to fight my way out, snap.
Like, I'll
a few
just snap
necks.
their neck.
Yeah, it's easy. It's like 2 pounds of pressure, right?
Yeah.
I
Somehow it's
remember
always the opposite direction.
a school trip in high school. We went to the Stratford Theater like festival, and one of the classes was like a field trip to see how they do stuff. And for neck snaps, they have like take a plastic bottle and they just like for the sound effect Foley, just like twist it.
Mm,
So on stage, you get the nice neck snap sound effect.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Movie
Snaps and necks.
magic.
yeah.
And then the
what
rest
else
of
we
the
got?
movie, he's walking around like this, just like
Yeah. Yeah, like D'Onofrio and Men in Black, like we
Yeah,
were saying
just-
earlier.
Yeah. The possessed guys have a lot more personality than possessed women.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they just stand there. Like Lisa, when Susan then later is on top of her about to give her the old goose skeet, and she's just like, "Excuse me, or you're on top of me while I'm sleeping." And yeah, Hitchcock gets the goo in the mouth too. It just like drips into his mouth because. And then Frank, who's outside, is arguing that.
Wait, don't they
everybody-
kiss one of them? Isn't there?
There
Oh,
is a
she kisses
there too.
Leahy.
Yeah, right. Senior Leahy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kisses him, and Frank is outside saying, "I don't want to stay here no more." And the two guys try to convince those two guys. I have no idea what their names were either. Are saying, "No, you should come back." And then he gets killed by Bug.
The pigeon lady from Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
stabs him with like half a scissor.
half a shear, like a garden.
Yeah.
shear.
Yeah, but he doesn't go down.
Not until
Yo-
much later.
Yeah.
Eventually, including like his hand knocked off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when things really fall apart.
Oh, foreshadowing. Nice one, Vince. What do we got? So yeah, the pukes in the translator's mouth. Festus. The bruise is now bigger on Kelly's arm.
Yeah, and it's starting to have that
Developed
scar-like
that.
formation on it.
Yeah, that weird
So what? Is
scarification.
she's like the chosen one?
Yeah, he just marked her.
That's
He was like,
the one?
I want. Yeah, he marked her as like, I'm gonna make her my vessel.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
And
okay.
did she? Do you see what she bumps into?
It's just like one. It's just a table. Like it's just
Yeah,
like
just a table.
Yeah, like
Okay.
just one of like the rolling computers or whatever.
So it wasn't even like she didn't like bump into the like
The altar, the
the
tabernacle.
casing or anything like that. So it's just like,
No.
oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Just random psychokinetic energy.
Okay, fair enough.
We also got Lisa at the computer typing over and over after she's possessed. She's typing "I live."
Yeah, she's doing her best Sinistar impersonation.
And then Vince, maybe you can tell me this: who is God Plutonium?
Okay, well,
God Plutonium can't save you. Jesus can't save you.
I think he meant the idea that it's like the nuclear bomb, like the greatest weapon of science can't.
Yeah, yes and no. Here it says, "You'll not be saved by the God Plutonium. In fact, you will not be saved." The Holy Ghost, also called the Holy Spirit in Christian character, that is a figuration of the Spirit of God, usually represented by painters as a white dove, and considered the third element of the sacred Trinity formed by the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, which symbolizes to have soul, breath, and be alive, power of life. Although the god Plutonium doesn't exist as such, it refers to the Roman god Pluto, equivalent to the Greek god Hades, who ruled the underworld, the land of the dead. However, plutonium as such exists as a radioactive chemical element, symbol Pu, which the atomic number of 94 in the periodic table of elements. So, yeah, I guess it...
Given the context of the film, I think it implied more towards that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That checks out then.
So is he trying to say, like, you can't even kill me with the atomic, like, bomb type of thing? Like, I can't even be killed by that?
Indestructible.
Well, pretty much so, as we see later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, does anyone know what the name of the black guy was? Was it Calder?
I think...
Because on the IMDb photo, Calder. It looks like it's just that one scene in the movie where it's him getting puked
when he stabs
into.
himself. And,
Yeah, so he gets also
Calder,
possessed through Susan's skeet goo, and then he slices his own neck open with a chair, which was fucking badass. Well,
I think it was like it was a banister, like a on the stairs, like a piece of the railing.
I think it was from the chair because he was like dragging the chair up with him.
Okay.
Well, either way, it was pretty fucking cool.
That was pretty, gnarly. He's just like, and they're like, no.
He was the scariest possessed person as far as I'm concerned. Just
like
that
laughing the entire
he's
time.
all sweating, and he's like,
yeah, because he's like fighting it, but he's like laughing and crying, and
yeah, it was very unsettling.
Pretty creepy.
What else is there? There's we already got through the future videos. Okay, so yeah, this is where everybody's going to see Frank outside as he's just standing there in the lone spotlights in a parking lot, or I don't know where he was. Who wants to take this?
I'll do it. So he stands there like, oh, what's going on? He's doing his best Night of the Creeps impersonation.
Yeah, guys, an old episode we've already done. Go back and watch it.
And in very Men in Black, bugs are wearing him. They're like, hey, man, he looks kind of weird. He's like, look, I got a message for all y'all. He's like a mouth of Sauron. Pray for death. It's gonna suck for you. And you find out he's just made of bugs holding him together, and he just falls apart.
That was awesome. So funny.
Yeah. It's not quite as sexy as when Candyman does it, but
no, but so rarely are things so sexy like Tony Todd.
Yeah. So this is basically when it starts going like Assault on Precinct 13.
Yep.
Because it's the most John Carpenter movie.
That is the most John Carpenter movie.
Assault on Precinct 13, yeah.
Yeah,
this one, this has Assault on Precinct 13 vibes. Because they can't leave because they got killer homeless people outside.
Yeah, who barricaded them in with garbage. And they're trapped in there. Well, it's actually kind of the thing where they don't know who's possessed or not. But I mean, it's pretty obvious because everyone's kind of shuffling.
It's them turning against each other, and like Kelly is gone for a nap. So basically, they all get kind of trapped in the. There you go.
Wait, what's that one?
Oh, that's the. To me, it's kind of like,
Oh, it's
a
the
facial.
Ghoulify.
Yeah, it's a super soaker.
Yeah, nice. There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, who needs to edit? We'll just have these clips pop up when we do the video. Vince, the producer, nails it.
But yeah, this is when they all get kind of separated into their locked rooms.
Yeah, so Loomis goes to hide and pray, as the classic clergyman does.
He just kind of slunk off. His character was strange, I misjudged him because I thought he was being very cowardly. Are we talking about the part where he kind of backs away and just kind of hides? Prays? Yeah, but then he redeems himself after.
Yeah, he goes off to like the boiler room area. Wang is basically trapped in the barracks room with the possessed women, but he hides in the closet.
In the closet.
He's naked. Yeah, in the closet, exactly. Thank you, sir. And he makes that awesome joke about the Jewish woman and her daughter, trying to get a riot. I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I'm Jewish and I think it's hilarious. No way racist. The Jewish mother is waiting for her daughter to return from a trip, and she's at the airport, and he sees her get off the plane with this like 8-foot-tall Zulu warrior, and she goes, "No, I said to marry a rich doctor."
Yeah, with a bolo in his mouth. Or something.
The work.
Trying to get team because they're at this point they're just doing their Michael Myers where they're just standing. It's like because this is when the sun comes up, so they're all just standing there. And they rolled the canister upstairs, and it's like pouring itself out and into and then into Kelly. And then they're like, oh, and then the rest of them are kind of in the kitchen, and they're like, oh, we can hear Wang through the wall. Maybe we can dig our way through. And this is when he goes full Millhouse.
Clawing at the wall.
No, because they're working hard at the wall, and he's just standing there complaining. And at the end, when he's hurt, he has like a hammer, and he starts hammering at the wall. I was like, you could have done this the whole time.
No, his mag light. He's using his mag light.
Oh, he's using but he's trying it in any least. At least he's trying at that point. It was like you couldn't have met them halfway.
Yeah, I know. I would have been freaking out. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to be in that room. I would have been digging from the get-go.
Yeah, instead of making bad jokes and trying to pick up the woman still too. Doesn't he tell Lisa's like, you can't pass for an Asian after all.
Yeah.
He's trying to win them over with charm.
And watching Kelly, it worked. Yeah, and then watching Kelly transform, getting like first her belly's all big, then it gets small, and then her flesh is like looks like radiation burns all over herself.
Yeah. Gory.
And then her stomach starts to like move, and her skin's moving. Super cool, like Carpenter.
When she catches Walter's eye, that moment where she sees Walter in the closet.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And just like explodes open the closet door, and he's like, "Oh shit! Now I better hurry."
Yeah.
But he starts freaking out. He's like, "Let me the fuck out of here!"
And when they're grabbing his legs, and they're just like hitting her in the head with a brick.
Yeah, when they get through.
It's not working. They just toss her out the window.
Yeah, that's right. It was Egg Chen and Wang. They just throw her out the window, and then someone else too, who I didn't see who that was, but they also chucked him out the window.
Oh, Susan. Susan comes out there. Oh yeah, her too, and they just chuck her.
Oh, was that it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to say this now before I forget. I really want to say the casting of this, while the actors are all average to okay, everybody looks like a person. Nobody's like super polished. Nobody's like a 6-pack hunk or a busty babe. Everybody just kind of looks like people, and I was like, oh, cool.
I don't know, man. What was the main guy's name? Donald or whatever?
I don't know.
I don't buy him as like a grad
Marcus or something. What is it? Brian.
The main guy, Brian.
Brian, yeah. He didn't look like some kind of nerdy or grad student or anything. I think he was the worst actor in the film.
He might have been.
And I didn't like his card trick either. Like, apparently he brought that to the table. He's
Yeah.
like, how about if I play with cards during the movie? And apparently John Carpenter liked that, but I was
Yeah.
just found it strange. Like, it seemed like he was just nervous and needed something to do while they were filming.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It wasn't very good either. Like, they were good.
Yeah.
You know, it's a movie, right? Like, movie magic.
Yeah. But I agree. I like that they were all kind of no name, just look like regular people, especially the guy who got his neck snapped.
Yeah, but he ended up being somebody in the end.
Yeah.
Like, later on.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is when it gets really cool, where Kelly finds that compact mirror
Mhm.
and starts to finger her way through it, which I was like, okay, now we're going in a whole other direction. Like, awesome. Where she gets to a different dimension or something, and then Loomis axes her twice. One time.
Well, no, because she can't get through because the mirror is too small. You realize she's going to use the mirror as a portal to the other dimension, like where his father is, the anti-god is imprisoned. But like, oh, this mirror is too small. So then she finds in the boiler room that what's his name's been staring at. She's like, oh yeah, I'll use this one, which is the same room as Loomis.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but... Huh?
No, go ahead, Sterz.
I was confused when she was looking at that little mirror. I thought she was getting sucked in, and I thought, oh, like, you know, this is a way for them to kill her or something. And then when the priest started, like, well, when she finds that big mirror and the priest starts, like, chopping her, I was like, no, what are you doing? She's getting, like... I thought whatever was on the other side was kind of pulling her back to the netherworld.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
I was just confused by that. But later I figured it out that she was intentionally, or she was trying to pull her father. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's what it was. She's trying to pull him into
the
our world.
I thought the father was trying to pull her out of the Earth realm because he's the one who kind of trapped her to begin with. So I was a little confused by that, but I was like, oh, that priest, like, first he slunks out, now he's trying to be a hero, but he's just making things worse, you know? But, yeah, that wasn't the case.
No.
Because it says, while the rest of the team is occupied fighting the possessed, Kelly finds a larger wall mirror and draws the anti-god's hand through it. So.
Yeah, except then the redhead... real hero of the movie just sacrifices herself and pushes Kelly and herself through the mirror, and then Loomis one hand fucking chucks the axe, smashes it up.
Mm-hmm.
The power of love saved them.
Da, da, da. And you see her like reaching as if like trying to get back out through the door on the other side, and he's like, nope.
Yeah, we shut that shit down.
He smashes the glass to make sure she can't come back.
Yeah, and then all the other possessed people just sort of like the
fall out of the
in them, like evaporate them, and I guess are they dead?
No, they're okay.
What's his name got his neck snapped? I'm sure that was the end of it.
I mean, I didn't see them at the end, so I don't know if they survived their injuries or who knows.
Yeah, because then the homeless people just leave.
Yeah, they just like lose interest.
Wang runs for help.
Yeah, he just books it.
Yeah, which I was surprised too. I'm like, oh, is he just like piecing out completely? Like, fuck it, you guys are on your own. I got the chance to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cops come back and we see Loomis on the stretcher. And then, okay, this part I had trouble with because it was confusing. Dash wakes up from a dream. And
which is the dream the same dream he's been having. They've all been having.
But it's with what's her name now? Catherine.
The redhead.
She's the figure. Doorway. She's the figure in the emerging from the church.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
And then he wakes up next to her.
He wakes up next to Kelly.
Sorry, right.
Kelly.
Yeah. He's like great. All like disfigured and shit.
Yeah.
And then he
And then-
wakes up again. It's a dream.
Yeah,
a
to
dream.
nothing or to nobody. And he goes to touch the mirror at the end.
Mhm.
Open.
Okay, so I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this movie.
I haven't.
It pretty much ruins every single like cool part in it.
Oh
But
yeah.
what's awesome is it ends with him about to touch the mirror, and what comes out the mirror is the title.
Oh,
Okay.
And he reacts like ah. So that's what.
No,
that's
not
what's
this
gonna
movie.
happen. Yeah, it's like the title card was gonna attack him through the mirror.
Mhm.
no. I'll
So yeah,
check
the
that
dream, you don't know whether or not he's just having a real dream, if they're sending another transmission back.
out. I mean, open-ended. It's cool. Always cool way to end a movie.
I mean, he's sad. He's a sad man.
Yeah, well, he can't neg that redhead anymore. Catherine Danforth.
Blount. Oh, I thought it was Blunt. Who's Blount? Oh, you're
Blount?
talking about the character name. I was talking about her real name.
Oh, Lisa.
Yeah, well, that's it. I can't be
Blount?
bothered to learn. Like,
How do you
like,
pronounce
stuff
that
like-
name? Is it
Blount. Blount.
Blount? Blount? Yeah.
Lisa Blount, probably.
She was cool.
Oh.
She was cool.
The body horror always cool in a Carpenter movie.
Yeah.
Top grade. Always happy to see Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, he's always
Eh.
welcome.
You ever
Always
see
a
Terror in
welcome
the Isles?
No.
Terror in the Isles was, I guess it was pre the big VHS boom, but it was like essentially like I don't know legally how they did this, but it's like a theatrically released clip show of all
Oh
these
yeah,
horror
I
scenes
remember. Yeah.
cut in between Donald Pleasance in the theater watching it.
Oh, yeah.
You like turn to the
Never-
camera and talk to it, and sometimes it's just keep telling yourself it's only a movie, but then the movie ends and you have to go home. And I go, who's this creepy guy just talking to me?
Oh, modern day Vincent Price.
Yeah,
Or
it's like those That's Entertainment
Vincent
thing where
Price
they're
was
just like
alive at the same time.
Yeah. Don't
Vince
question.
sounded
okay? Like,
offended by that. Vincent Price was offended.
Modern day. It's like,
I didn't mean anything by it.
God
so,
damn you.
Anyone want to say anything before we review it? Good, bad, or ugly?
Mm,
It's hard to say because like I think the concepts of the film I really love it. I love the ideas. It has a great atmosphere. Its execution leaves me wanting. So it's not. I wouldn't say it's bad.
Yeah.
And it moves. Its pacing is interesting because it
Yeah.
moves at a good pace, but it's like not a lot happens, but it moves well. So
mhm.
Well, yeah, because they kind of just touch on a lot of things, and it's just like, oh, because he was saying he didn't want to go, like, because he had read some, like, quantum physics books and quantum mechanics and stuff. So he didn't want to delve too deep into it where it starts, getting too heady.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's some interesting concepts and ideas that are pretty decently executed. And yeah, the atmosphere is just super creepy. It's very kind of has that like you said, tension. Like John Carpenter's really good at building atmosphere and tension and kind of like
yeah.
really like creepy, weird atmosphere. Like, okay, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna get it next?
Mhm.
But yeah.
It's funny how when you try to bring science into movies, I find at the time of its release, people probably just accepted the science mumbo jumbo. They're like listening, oh yeah, sounds like it makes sense. And as we go forward in time, the general knowledge of science increases a little bit.
Yeah.
All the time. And to the point where watching this now, like, I know nothing about science. I'm pretty layman, but listening to the dialogue, I can tell it's really full of shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
please, by all means, shit, piss.
No, we will find you.
Cocksucker motherfucker.
Yeah, the
So-
work.
But so for me, that felt dated in a way. But it was interesting. You know, you don't see it all the time in horror movies, and mixing that religion and science aspect was cool. But yeah, it definitely, you know, for me, it just sounded very made up. It wasn't like very well researched, in my view. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, it just was a little strange. But yeah, that's not what the movie's really about, and the scariness and the tension is brought about by the soundtrack mainly, and the visuals. So yeah.
So what's
like
it
I
be,
said,
Sterz? Good, bad, or ugly? Good, bad, or ugly?
For me,
or
it was
all
good.
three. You mix it up.
Yeah. There are parts, exactly, it has elements of all three, but for me it was good. Like I said, my expectations weren't that high to begin with, but I was scared at times. You know, I laughed a bit at times. Overall, it was a nice experience. I thought Alice Cooper was unnecessary or underused, I'm not sure. Like, it was kind of a gimmicky, but yeah, no, it was cool. All in all, a cool film. How about you guys?
It's not as good as his performance in Wayne's World. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna say it's a bad movie. I didn't really like it.
Bad?
Yeah, straight up bad. I mean, there were bits of ugly in there, like the body horror. It's cool, but it wasn't enough. It was like a soupçon, you know. It was barely there. And I mean, I've never heard. I'd only heard of Prince of Darkness, but I'd never seen it. So I feel like I've been spoiled by other John Carpenter movies, and I feel like this was maybe one of his weakest entries.
Yeah.
I might echo you on that, because if I'm weighing all the options as an overall film, I don't love it. Yeah, I would have to say bad, like overall, because I don't think it accomplishes everything it maybe wants to set out to do, and all the good parts don't really gel together as an overall narrative, which is what a film is. And compare it to stuff of his, like, I haven't seen all of John Carpenter's stuff, but some of the stuff I have seen, I love, like The Thing or Big Trouble in Little China. So I know he can do. So I know he can do better. So if I'm comparing it to that, I was like, yeah, this is. I can't say I like it enough to make it good in our Neapolitan styled.
That's it.
View system.
And Vince.
I say it's good. I liked it a lot. I mean, it holds a. I like it for nostalgic reasons, obviously, but I also just like it. I've seen it, a good amount of times. I like revisit it every few years, and what kind of made me want to watch, because I just recently bought this. I don't know if you can see.
It's a double pack with.
No, it's 4 movies.
It's 4 movies. Shit.
Escape from New York, Prince of Darkness, right. They Live, and The Fog. And but I got them. Studio Canal just released this 4K remaster.
Oh, sick.
And so they look amazing. They look pretty good. The only one I didn't watch yet was Escape from New York, but I watched The Fog the other day, and They Live I watched last.
I've never seen The Fog.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's a really good. It's just a really good ghost story.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe we have the next movie then.
Yeah, but we have to conclude this trilogy. We have to do Mouth of Madness, because that was the 3rd entry in the Apocalypse trilogy. So we already did The Thing. We already did The Thing. We did this Prince of Darkness, and we have to do Mouth. I mean, we might as well just go through John Carpenter's, all his.
Well,
movies.
he is our patron saint of
podcast. Yeah.
Of podcast, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember voting on that.
Our first podcast was The Thing.
Yeah, because it's a great movie.
That's how we get it off. No, but I feel we all, love and appreciate John Carpenter.
Absolutely. I respect him. He's not, but he has by no means a great track record in my mind.
I would disagree.
His highs are very high, but there's a lot of lows in there.
Oh, so he's like the Beatles of directing.
Sure.
Okay, so what is it? Shameless plug time? Sterz, please, by all means.
Yeah, as I said, I don't have much to plug really. I'm an ESL teacher, so I have just a Facebook page, Teacher Matt. It's just there to help my students and anyone else who is trying to learn English, basically. So yeah, if you happen to be someone who's trying to learn English, you're listening to this podcast to maybe practice your listening, check it out, Teacher Matt on Facebook, and you'll see a picture of me holding my kid, and like it, follow it, and you'll see some cool stuff. I'm not trying to sell anything. It's just there for the benefit of people trying to learn.
Hey, good cause. Vince, we can probably put that up in the disclaimer at the bottom or something, right?
Yeah, I can link it up in the description. Yeah.
Yeah.
And on a similar note to that, if you go to my Instagram at Beta Brace, I post memes that I think are funny.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've seen some of them. They are good. Throwing just as much good out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Vince, what about you? Got anything?
Well, I've been doing this weekly cipher discussion, rap cipher, and I'm the DJ, I guess, co-host, and we play only Montreal producers. I think we have 18 producers that have, submitted beats, and I just play beats, and we, people rap on them and joke around, and it's a pretty good time, So if you want to, it's called Crossroads, and I mean, if you follow me on Facebook or anything, it's streamed live on Twitch, and I think YouTube live. I know it's on Facebook live, but I'll put the event also in the description.
Yeah, get it in there.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to upload this video. Probably going to try to do it within the next day or so, but yeah.
When it happens, it happens. I have nothing going on in my life, so nothing to plug. But I will say I'd like to thank our 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe that many people give a shit about what we have to say. So in honor of that, I don't know, what should we call our fans? I was thinking I'll call them uglies, but...
Uglies?
That's not necessarily appealing.
Bots, we can call them bots.
Bots?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, they already are.
All our hundreds of bots out there.
GB Ubers?
GB Ubers. You know what? Let's leave it to the fans. Why don't you guys tell us what you want to be called? If you don't have anything better than uglies, we're going to give you that. But you can leave us all your hate mail and map homework at gbupodcast@gmail.com. We'll try to go through it. You can also ask to be a guest. It worked for Sterz, so it can work for anybody.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Living the dream.
YouTube, this is probably where you're watching it already. So you're already there. I'm not even going to bother plugging that. We don't do Twitter anymore because I'm too lazy.
You really think you're about to kick us out of your house?
Yeah, guys, so wrap it up.
Fuck out of here.
Oh, I also do want to say excellent job to Vince on the new intro. That thing fucking rocks.
Thank you. I think I got to fix it a bit because we got copyrighted, not a strike or whatever, but copyright claimed because it recognized the good, the bad, and the ugly theme.
Right.
So
A true DJ.
I might have to pitch it down or something, or just tweak it out a bit.
Well, I'm glad you're not using the Vanilla Ice defense.
Yeah.
I just changed up an octave,
No, they're completely different. Theirs is dun 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 dun. Mine's ding 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 ding.
Completely different.
Different song.
Okay, so thanks so much for joining us, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Take care of yourself, everybody.
Peace out, guys.